Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Mariana and I will do the vibes inside for you today. This is going to be a new moon reading in the sign of Leo, occurring on the 28th of July 2022, depending where you live in the world, but around that time. It's a new moon reading. So new moons are good for manifestation. They're good for if you want something new to develop in your life, perhaps you can write something down. And with like the best intention, send it to the universe, burn the letter, or somehow dissolve it. The point is that we allow the divine timing to bring this towards us when everything is ready for it, when everything is good to go. And therefore it's also important when you write something down, if you want to do that, that you can light a candle, you can sit in a quiet place, putting yourself in a mode of, I want to say maybe optimism, or a mode of most abundant feelings and thoughts. When you write down new manifestations, do it in first tense. Do it as if it is already here. Use sentences like I am or I have. So I am happy, I am abundant, I am beautiful, I am strong, I am lovable, I'm worthy, whatever you want to write. Or I have the most beautiful home, I have the best friends in my life, I have the most beautiful job, or I have my dream job, as if it's already here. And then you burn it with the best of intentions, ask for the help from your guides and angels, and trust that when you send this out there, the universe will do whatever it can to bring that towards you. But again, it also depends on your vibration. If you are able also to align with that vibration of abundance, for instance, then you could say the law of attraction should bring this to you. So, okay, I'm not quite sure, Leo, but what's going on for you, maybe, or it's not a Leo reading, but of course Leos will maybe sense this energy potently. We all have Leo somewhere in our chart, so to speak, so we can all be affected by this somehow. But Leo energy is, you could say, at least in the northern hemisphere, Leo season is where the sun shines most brightly. It's where it's most warm, where it's or hot. It's where it is the longest days with sunshine or with light sun affecting the earth. Sun Leo is connected with the idea of like the sun god Ra, right? The father sun god. It is connected with the idea of gold and abundance, wealth, spotlight, fame, but also the idea of the Leo being the lion, so someone very strong, very um, solid, something that doesn't just tear down. It's quite solid, it's strong, it's dependable, and it has a strong willpower. That's the fire energy, right? A strong willpower that can drive this Leo forward. So I sit here and I do this reading, and my setting is different. Due to some circumstances, my setting is a little bit different. So I don't know, that there's something about, I was wondering what kind of color wanted to come forward today. It's still a color that is this light baby blue color. And somehow I get the feeling that, because this connects, you could say, with throat chakra, so something about speech, communication, identity, thought patterns, our communication with others, their communication to you or with you. And I have the white rose here. And today this comes through as a sense of peace offering, or a sense of new beginning, or a fresh new start of something that could grow, right? It is a flower. I'm not quite sure yet exactly what that means, because it can be anything. It can be communication with someone. It can be like a clean slate of something, and like a new beginning, or you want to put the past in the past and now start to move forward with or without someone else. If someone else is involved, I get the feeling that there could be communication coming or needed, with like a white flag, the sense of like a peace offering. Can we start over? Can we somehow like have a new clean slate together? Can we somehow do that? It can be an internal process. Maybe you're letting something go and you want something new, bright, to be here and to come in, and be part of your life somehow. Yeah, that's what I feel like. There could be a sense of forgiveness from your part or someone else's. If you have been in conflict with someone, or you have just like maybe taken yourself out of a game, or a competition, maybe there could be something maybe resolving, or even just choosing. Like this can be a talk about a new choice, right? That you choose something else for yourself. A new moon is perfect for that. Like choosing, again, thought patterns, how you communicate with yourself. It could be something like, I don't want to do this anymore. I choose something different. I want to have a new rose. I want to start somewhere else. I want it to be pure in some sense. I want it to be good. It could even be that, if we talk about, because I have like rosy color candle, I also have my rose quartz here. It could even be that you choose Well, a communication with something that is different. I said pure, maybe you want a communication with something pure. Maybe you are seeking more of an alliance with, maybe, I don't know why I said alliance, but alliance with, let's say, God, or again, it's Leo energy, so this is like the top of the top. So maybe it's a search towards God, towards the meaning of life, towards truth, um, towards purity, towards something that is clear, where there are no doubt. There's no doubt. There could be something about like washing doubt away from something. Um, Maybe you're unconscious, maybe it's no doubt in a certain situation, in a communication with someone else, that there should be no doubt. I shouldn't second guess, I shouldn't have this feeling, so I choose something else. It could be something like that. So now I'm going to take an overall and underlying energy, and I do that with my Wisdom of the Hidden Realm cards here. They have the moon on it, and that's why I use them for the moon readings. So let's have a look here for this one in Leo. But I somehow, because my setting is different today, and I just have the feeling maybe you decide that something needs to be different. Like a setup or something needs to be different. Maybe the entire setup of your life, like your living environment, your friends, your family dynamic, your work situation, your hobbies. I just get the feeling of like the setup needs to be different. The setup, whatever that means. It comes across almost a little bit like the players. The players are not always just one role. Maybe they could have a different one. Nothing is set in stone, like the setup can change. Nothing is set in stone. I'm not always just one person, or I'm not always just this. I can be something else. And then the dynamic changes perhaps, or the setup changes. Maybe could be something like, let's say you've had if you are in a family business and your father has been in charge, maybe, and you have been second or third in the hierarchy, and maybe something is changing due to age, maybe, or paradigm shift in the company. Maybe now suddenly you become in charge and your father becomes second or third because they need to slow down and have less hours, work less hours. So there could be this, like the setup. I see like building blocks that could change, like I can take one building block and put it over here, and I can take another and put over here. Like I can set everything together differently somehow. So that the setup is potentially changing if you want it to, I think. And again, it's just this, if you choose it. Like if something is bothering you, you can choose differently. And I say that just like that, and maybe you say, no, I can't, but give it a minute, because maybe there is something you can do. Maybe just a little thing. Maybe there's something you can do. Or if we talk about doing less, if you feel like you're overworked, you're overwhelmed, maybe there's something you could do. But it doesn't mean that it's maybe without trouble. It doesn't mean that it's without maybe a consequence or a new well, when you change the setup, a new dynamic can see the light, right? So a new dynamic can come in. But with that dynamic, something changes. Like the chain of command, or like who is the boss, who is in charge. Leo energy, who is the boss, who is in charge, who makes the rules, who changes the rules, maybe. Do we have good rules, or do we need to update our rules or our regulations or our setup? There's something about the setup. The setup is maybe obsolete, maybe it's not. It could be something like something is too old-fashioned, so the setup needs to change. If we are going to have a setup with each other or a relationship, our relationship setup needs to be changed, or something in that dynamic, something like that, in that direction, I feel like. So there is a setup. Now I also hear who has set it up. Like who did the original setting. So the rules have been set up somehow by someone at some point. Who did that? Or where do they stem from? Where do they come from? Maybe they are old-fashioned, maybe they are not up to date, maybe they are not working for you somehow. Yeah, okay. So let's have an overall energy, the web weaver, synchronicity, divine intelligence, cause and effect. So whenever I see a word like weaver here, I immediately think about a spider, like weaving the web. But what kind of web is it? What kind of web are you weaving? Cause and effect, right? What intentions have you put into that web? Have you thought of yourself as first or second or third? I get the feeling, and again, Leo is very competitive, right? I get the feeling of something like hierarchy, or first, second, third place, first, second, third role in a family, maybe. And the cause of effect is important to realize that if we believe we are third, and we have always been third, how can we then be one or first? The web weaver. Sometimes when I see something that says the web, I can also think about the internet, but somehow I don't. That's not what I feel like this is. It feels more like what kind of web have you been weaving? Here we talk about everything. What kind of web of friends do you have? What kind of web of work circumstances do you have? Well, and some of you would probably say, but it's not me weaving. It's the company. The company has set up the rules. They have a management setup. I'm just a pawn in this. Yeah, but you're working there. You chose to stay, or you are still there. So you were weaving with them somehow. You are co-weaving something. We all weave with each other somehow. But it's how so a leader can only be a leader if everyone around them is accepting it somehow, right? They have accepted the chain of command. They have accepted their hierarchy status or position, and that therefore the web is being weaved in a certain way, or products are being produced in a certain way, or whatever circumstance, a marriage is working the way it is. It's because the roles has been set and the dynamics chosen, and this is now the marriage web we are weaving, co-weaving with each other, because we have accepted the roles, unless we challenge them, unless we want to change them, unless we want to do something about it. And I feel like the new moon here is perhaps opening up an opportunity to have a talk, maybe. She stands here in this white dress, so there's this sense of like the pure, or maybe not pure, but good intentions, like I want to solve this in the best possible way for everyone, but this setup needs to change, right? Something needs to give, or something like that, yeah. At the bottom of the deck, I get the Wise Woman of Wonderland here, which talks about integrity and compromise. These cards always comes like with an ally or a challenger. So either way, are you communicating with integrity? Is that going to work for you? Is that helpful and enough to change a setup perhaps? Or do you compromise to stay where you are, to have the salary you have, or to keep up your status at work, or maybe in like relationships? Do you compromise in close relationships? It's a difficult one, I think, because like if we never compromise, we can come across as extremely egotistical, self-serving, and like we don't care. It doesn't have to be that we don't care. It's just maybe the integrity is guiding us towards more. And to get to that place, we sometimes have to do something. We have to maybe make decisions, choices, and maybe people don't like it. So if we want to go towards our goals, we have to like be very true to our integrity, our authenticity, like the flame inside, something that guides us, or something that just feels right. And then other people may have um, a reaction to whatever goal or whatever opinion we have. Some may not like what we say or what we choose, and some may criticize it, some may hate it even. And this is where we sometimes maybe change our opinion and compromise instead, because we don't want to stir the waters, we don't want to get into deep arguments, we don't want to hurt other people maybe. But somehow I get the feeling that this is underlying energy, but actually I feel like this is extremely important to decipher whether you mostly act out of integrity and follow what you want to do in life, or whether you compromise with the people around you or the circumstances you are in. What kind of setup do you have with yourself? If you compromise mostly, compromise can come from the fact that we don't believe enough in ourselves, right? That we second guess that we have what it takes, maybe, to win this argument or to get the stuff done that you are wanting or wishing for or hoping for. So somehow I feel like, which is it, right? Which is it that is driving your setup? Your personal setup as a person, perhaps? How you see yourself? How are you set up? How is your personal setup around yourself? Is there something you can do? Can you, to relieve yourself from some kind of burdens? Can you change your setup somehow so that you feel more relaxed or more in control, maybe? Sometimes when there is a lot of outside influence that is somehow affecting us, we may feel like we lose our ability to act or to influence all this stuff around us. But maybe if we sort some of it out, that we get some of it off the plate somehow, there's less that can affect you, right? And therefore maybe you feel more, I wouldn't say in control, but maybe more balanced somehow. Okay, so let's have a look here. What else do I want? How do I want to put the cards here for this new moon reading? Like it doesn't feel very clear to me how I'm supposed to do this. Maybe it's because you don't know. Like the setup is unknown. The new setup perhaps is unknown somehow, or not well thought through, maybe not deciphered yet or decided on yet, or it's in the making. There's something here about synchronicity, divine intelligence. I want to say divine timing also. Maybe you are in a process where this is still in progress, or is still that maybe you have changed something, but it's still in the making. In the making. The feeling of a new setup is in the making somehow. Yeah, that's what I feel like. Okay, how do I want to put these cards, please? I'm taking the Celtic Tarot here. Um, okay, let's have a look. I need 3 cards on the table here. And then it's like something hovering up here somehow. Just going to take the 3 cards here. And maybe this hovering stuff is what's trying to come in, or is on the way, or something. Again, remember I said something about, have you aligned yourself with what it is that you're trying to create? Are you weaving? Are you weaving in alignment with what it is that you want to create somehow? Or are you compromising? Are you trying to weave towards the person or personality you are maybe wanting to be or become? Again, remember the words. If you're saying words like, I want to become the new vice president of something, I want to become it, meaning that you are not it yet. You're not there yet. It's out there in the future. Whenever we use words where we are out there somehow in the future, we push it in front of us. We keep saying, I want to be, I want to become. So if I want to become something, it's because I'm not it yet. So be mindful about like the words you use about yourself, right? Also, just common thought patterns in your day-to-day life. This one wanted to jump out. Let's have a look at this one. The Magician in reverse somehow. Yeah, I get the feeling. Are you somehow not manifesting? Are you not manifesting? Or you are manifesting, but maybe not doing it with like the most optimal. I get the feeling of it's like a detour, like you're doing something that is, or you may feel like you have tried to manifest something, but it hasn't turned up yet, or it hasn't come in yet. And I just have the feeling, yeah, it's because it's still in the making somehow. The Magician, this is Gemini, Virgo energy. Maybe you're dealing with someone here who is who is not acting out of integrity. Um, Again, wanting to be a magician, but are you honest with yourself? I feel like I have to ask that. Are you honest with yourself? Do you, because a magician here, I want to say they have to act with integrity, like they have to trust their abilities. They have to trust that they can do this, even if they stand alone, that nobody is there to support them. They have to like do the impossible, right? Change lead into gold. They do something that no one else can. It's like you have to trust that you have certain powers here. But somehow I get the feeling maybe you're not quite. Look at how these cards here. She sits here smiling, right, with her wand on, you could say, almost like a pedestal. She has put herself on the throne, smiling here, trusting in her abilities here. And with a smile on her face, so like a happy intention somehow. It's like I don't know, this guy has been a very shadowy guy during the last readings. I didn't get much from them. Either this is a part of yourself that you are denying, that you, and remember reverse, that you're denying something about this guy, or this is someone around you. It was a jumper, but a very determined one, a very decisive jumper here. It could be someone who doesn't like that you are maybe trying to change the setup of something. It could also be that you are the one who doesn't like a setup being changed. Or even worse, that someone is trying to change a setup using very, how can I say that, disturbing methods, maybe. Like using maybe manipulation or something to change a setup somehow. Okay, I don't know, but just be mindful about your own thoughts here. Wanting to manifest something. Or something else fell down here, and now I have the devil here. Yeah, there's something. I feel like the magician in reverse here could be this energy here. Someone wants to be in control still. Have the last say. Be the one who steers the others here. Like this is like a puppeteer. Maybe this magician in reverse was someone who did that, or would want that, like maybe they don't. I could say it this way: if you are in a conflict with someone and you feel like this setup needs to be changed, I need something to change for us to have like a good communication style with each other. I have the feeling this other person doesn't want that. Then I want to say that if you still would like to change it, you may need to consider being very tactical in your negotiation perhaps, because it's very important for this other dynamic not to lose power, not to lose control. So if you want the dynamic to change, you have to figure out, how can I change it by not threatening them and their like sovereignty? Especially if you need to have a dynamic with this person. Otherwise, I want to say maybe you have to consider whether you want that at all. It's like they can't lose the battle, I believe. They can't lose status. Then they feel threatened. And therefore you have to figure out, how can I, maybe that's the Magician in reverse, that how can I somehow change something, but without opening Pandora's box, right? There is a sense of, if I poke this bear too much, hell is breaking loose somehow. And I don't want that. So I'm walking around, I'm figuring out how to, and maybe you need both integrity and compromise to somehow get around a certain situation here. So another 2 jumpers here. This is the Page of Wands. And the other one here is the Hermit, so Virgo energy here, and Page of Wands, so well, this is fire energy. We saw this, the Magician in reverse. I said it could be Gemini, Virgo energy. I feel like we have Virgo here now, Virgo energy. Again, the shadowy card of the Magician is similar to this one. Something operating at night, operating in the dark, behind your back perhaps. It could be something in your subconscious here that you are not aware of. But otherwise, I want to say it's a person that Page of Wands. So this is a very young Wands energy, a young or inexperienced, could be something with the new moon, like wanting something new, using the Leo energy in a new way, but maybe feeling like a novice about it, or handling fire energy in a very novice-like, young, immature way. Okay. Okay, let's get some cards out here now. I feel like I'm ready to put out the cards here. But I feel I already get the dynamic of something that is it could be the feeling of something like a big problem. And how do I navigate that somehow if I want the setup to change? It could be a big personality, a boss, like a hierarchy thing. But how do I navigate around that somehow without hell breaking loose? But I want the setup to change, so I'm navigating around it perhaps. without confronting maybe the person you actually need to confront. You're doing something around it instead, perhaps, here. And I just get the feeling that, so instead of confronting the person, again, this integrity thing, that if you feel like you have authenticity and integrity and you have your confidence intact, you wouldn't mind confront someone in a calm manner, but still confront them and tell them, well, I don't think our communication is that great. Could we perhaps change that a little bit? Someone with integrity wouldn't mind that, but if you feel like there's something that threatens you somehow, if you feel there's something at risk that makes you seek alternatives somehow, it could be interesting to ask yourself what that is. What is it that you feel like is at risk? And therefore you compromise or you walk around it instead of like confronting something directly. What is at risk? Okay. Underlying energy, 7 of Pentacles. So, 7 of Pentacles talks about putting in new seeds. Putting seeds in the ground, or again, as I said, with the new moon ritual, perhaps sending new intentions out there. Somehow, because the child is here, I get the feeling of, again, novice or newbie. Maybe this is something you have never done before. Maybe it's something like you're confronted with your inner child when you try to put in new seeds, perhaps here. An inner child that is, maybe it's not, well, an inner child can be childish, right? It can be young, immature, it can be but I also want to say it can also be beautiful and pure, right? Like a little innocent. There's an innocence to this somehow. Okay, it's interesting because I get the feeling that if you are somehow in a situation where you are walking around a problem, like, or something big, like an elephant in the room that I can't, if I poke this directly, it is going to explode, right? So I walk around it somehow and figure out how I can still change a dynamic, perhaps. How I can change the setup somehow around this elephant in the room. But again, this tells me something about innocence, like wanting to do it like in an innocent manner. I want to put in new seeds, but I want it to be good seeds, like with good, pure intentions, not bad, or like manipulative, or, and this can be what you want for yourself, right? That you want something good for yourself. But there's this elephant in the room that may feel like I can't really, I find myself still compromising, perhaps. I find myself still not being as pure or original, authentic as I would like to be. And somehow I have the feeling I need to ask you, why is that? What is this elephant in the room somehow? What is this elephant? I feel like I want an elephant here somehow. But at the same time, I also feel like it's like I don't want to see it. Like a part of it. And this is why I ask yourself, are you honest with yourself? It's like there is something that it's like the elephant in the room that you are constantly confronted with. And you're trying to figure out a way around it. But it's like you're maybe not putting or giving it enough I don't want to say attention, but regard, that maybe you feel like it's just a small elephant somehow, but I get the feeling it's big. And you're just kind of waltzing around it here somehow. That's what I feel like. You want the setup to change, but it's like there is something that is making you compromise. What is that? And maybe that's why I have the rose color here. It's love, perhaps, right? That you have very committed feelings with someone or something that you know you can't just. There could be family ties, bonds, somehow with something. And even maybe you want to break from it. It's not something that your heart may allow, right? And maybe you need to be very real about that, like really figuring out, why is it that I'm not confronting? Are there some what's that called? Is there some kind of ripple effect? If I confront something, will it have some kind of devastating ripple effect on me and maybe others whom I care about, perhaps? Okay, let's have. I want an elephant here in the room, or whatever I want to call that. Something big that is. Something big, I feel like, that is maybe unseen, like it's not something that is seen, it's an energy, right? You know, like loyalty, family loyalty, that's an energy, but you can't, it doesn't have a shape or something. You can't see it in the room, right? It's just there. That's what it's something like that. Or the feeling I have to honor something, so I'm honoring something, but that has it's an energetic imprint that is there. It's there, but it's not something that people can see. I feel like it's an energy. Okay, let's have a look here. It could even be that we have three parties here. Interestingly enough, I took the Celtic tarot with the Triskel. Three Trinity, something about like 3, 1, 2, 3, right? First, second, third, maybe first generation, second, third generation. Take it how it resonates, something like that. One is always first or strongest or biggest or something. The next one is second, and I'm always third or whatever. I get like a feeling of competition. And again, there's this elephant in the room. It could be something like, but because we are family, we should be loyal to each other. We should help each other. But actually, this card may represent fight, right? That actually we all hate each other somehow. Because there's this competition. We are supposed to be, because we are family, we're supposed to be allies. We're supposed to support each other, be there for each other. But internally, in the family dynamic, we are fighting for the throne somehow. You get my point? Like some kind of elephant here is in the room. Okay, so let's have a look here. The Emperor, yeah, there you see it first. What, right? This is the top throne. Aries energy, if that means something to you, but this is the one who sits on the throne. Like the top management, the leader, the boss, maybe the father of the head of the family, the father, a grandfather, someone who has a lot of, you could say, like power. This one, because he's an emperor, he's a king of kingdoms, right? So underneath, hierarchically, underneath him, we have kings, right? And they each have a kingdom to rule, right? But he's like the top management. We could even say God here, right? Like something that is elevated, it's bigger, it's big somehow. And it's solid and strong. Look at how the way he sits on this throne, his face. If we see his face, it's like, I'm not moving. This is my chair, right? This is my throne. I'm not moving. You can forget about it. That's kind of his. Here we have confidence and like a sovereign, confident ruler. It's like an entitled. I'm supposed to sit here. This is my throne. Like this one is not doubting his position. He's not doubting his position, this one. Take the next one here. So a Knight of Wands. This is what I feel. A Knight of Wands can be, the first thing that came to mind is a challenger. Someone who wants to challenge this Emperor here. Like they come in with like a fierceness, like a fire energy here. Being just a knight, right? Again, the Emperor is a king of kings. So in the hierarchy, the knight is down here, right? This is someone who is like a son or like hierarchy. Like it's something like that, right? They are down here somehow, operating as a knight, like a young younger, not a page, so it's not a child, but a young, on his way, but challenging some kind of status here. Riding a unicorn here, riding on his beautiful unicorn, white unicorn. This can be quite an impulsive. Sometimes this is seen a little bit like a flaky, in and out, quick moving, like satisfaction seeking energy. It can be impulsive, it can be reckless. But I also want to say the Knight does, even though this is maybe the most unreliable one of those, the Knights here, they do follow some kind of code, like some kind of codex, or they have committed themselves to something, and maybe they have committed themselves to their own willpower, and they want to challenge an emperor here, perhaps, somehow. Judgment. Interesting, right? The Judgment card, Major Arcana here, Emperor also Major Arcana. Judgment is, well, we can talk about being judged, right? Being judged for jumping high or wanting to, again, like if a Knight of Wands here is actually challenging an emperor here for a duel, right? And the emperor accepts, and they get into a duel. And if this knight actually is winning, he would take a high jump of power, right? He would jump from being a knight status to an emperor or a ruler, an empire ruler, in like a quick moving energy. But doing that doesn't necessarily come without challenge, right? Because some may not like it. Maybe this one was a very favored emperor, and if someone comes in and challenge that position, maybe they are not, again, as I said, they are quite satisfaction seeking. They can be a little bit selfish and reckless and impulsive. Maybe they don't know exactly much about what it means to be an emperor, like a true good, serving emperor. Because an emperor who is just self-serving is just using the people that he's ruling over here. But a true emperor would establish some kind of like win-win somehow situation. The emperor can protect the people in the villages and so on. They collect some of their corn or some of their meat, perhaps, for payment, for protection, but at the same time they're not going to take everything, because the farmers need to keep they have to keep living. They have to keep planting new stuff on the field and so on. They have to keep moving. and new generations come and so on. But maybe the setup has been like that for a long time, depending on what kind of emperor this is, right? But someone seems to want to challenge something here. The direction of the horse is towards the emperor here. But there could be a sense of people may judge this one who wants to try to fly high here, to wants to take a jump. Again, this, like, if let's say you have a wish of becoming your own enterprise owner, you want to have your own business, and you want to be very solid and strong in it, and very independent, and very sit in a good place here, and you want a total rulership over this. You are in charge. You make the decisions. You make the choices. You don't want anyone involved in making the choices. You want to do that on your own. And you want a very solid, big company. Let's say that. And you are not there yet. You're still just getting your education done, perhaps, as a knight. But you have this fast-moving energy towards something, right? Leo energy wants to shine. It wants spotlight. It wants to be famous. It wants to have fans. It wants to be adored. It wants to be big somehow. So it wants to stand in the spotlight. It wants the fame. This is like a quick riser. Someone who, that's what I see in this dynamic. I see it like a quick riser. Someone who is like a gazelle companies, right? That from being almost unknown to having extreme success in a very short time. That's kind of that leap somehow. Like taking a leap of faith, challenging something, or wanting to be like an emperor here. But it means that you need to challenge someone for the position, and therefore you are thinking, maybe, let's say you think highly of yourself. You think that you could be just as good, or just as qualified, or just as brilliant, or you deserve it just as much, right? Judgment can be this feeling of being judged for your actions. It can be the feeling of I don't like what other people may think of me if I actually succeed. If I succeed here, maybe people will not like me. Maybe they will adore me, but not for who I really am. They will adore me for the money, for the fame, for the pictures on social media and so on. They will not, it's not going to be me. But I get the feeling of like a high jumper, someone who takes a leap of faith and like risks something in order to become something more, or in order to take over a position, but by challenging them somehow. But there could be this feeling, I'm not sure I want to do this because of the judgment. And well, what kind of judgment is this? It's something that connects with this feeling of innocence, like a good innocent child. Would a good innocent child do this to their father, for instance? Or will I be judged? Will I be judged for my actions if I take a leap of faith here? If I try to challenge someone here? I may reach the top, but what comes with it? What kind of judgment is coming? Will I be judged? Am I judging myself? Are others judging me? What does it mean to be an emperor, being on top, being famous, being in the spotlight all the time? Is this truly what I want? Maybe. And again, I have this feeling like, because my own setup here is different today, that maybe not feeling quite comfortable in it, or that it's not what I thought it would be. It's not that great, perhaps. Okay, I'm looking at the elephant in the room here. Iris of the rainbow. Yeah, there's something, because I was just looking at this guy here, and I saw that he has this wand, you could say, on fire here. And we have the wise woman here of Wonderland. Hers is on fire. This person, the girl standing here, this one is also firing up here, or learning to fire up here. And then we had we saw the hermit with the lantern, figuring out how to fire up the fire in the lantern. And we had the magician in reverse, where the fire is shown, but in reverse. I feel like maybe they not knowing exactly how to use that fire, because this one has a wand, but it's not on fire. I get almost the feeling like it's like the wand, your wand is not working somehow. And I also get the feeling like wanting to be a high jumper, like moving to a higher position, but without manifestation powers somehow. It's like not having the right tool available somehow. Because Iris, she sits here and she has a wand on one side, and she has the rainbow on the other side here. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see the rainbow up there a little bit, maybe? But she has a rainbow, and so she is we say that gold is to be found at the end of the rainbow, right? But I just get the feeling it's like the wand is not on. Like, how do I figure out to turn this on somehow, to light it, or to Iris of the rainbow talks about hope and promise for the future. Blue skies and rain are the realm of Iris, the rainbow fairy. She dwells at the meeting of air, so the element of the mind, and water, the element of emotion. She sits, rainbow-hued wings outspread, suspended in mid-air, partially wrapped in her deep sky drapery, and crowned with iris blossoms. The fairy archer tip their arrow in her potent handful of iridescent light. Firing their arrows, they sent polychromatic rays into the storm, bringing light to dismal skies and hope to darkened hearts. Beneath the rainbow fairy, the amphibious creatures of a wet earth crouch. The fairy frog maiden and the frog peer out from their shelter at the storm-wrecked world, while the shadowed sun is dimly seen above Iris's head. Sturdy, pot-bellied gnomes, their toes rooted in the earth, sport sweeping whiskers to prove their entitlement to their single Irish crowns, while the helpful fairy holds transparent rainbow-filled globes for the rainbow fairy. Everyone, especially Irish herself, is fully absorbed in the task of reclaiming the bright sky from the dark of the storm. In her hand, the light of heaven's bow looks a fragile thing, yet it is the light of hope, the promise of healing and joy to come. And that is one of the most powerful things there is. Okay, so what I get from this is, this is in the middle here. An iris of the rainbow sits on her throne. She's the queen here, right? She sits here. And she has these helpers around her, and they all do something to help her in some way. She is occupied with something, while the others are occupied to somehow please her or help her. She wants to, as it says here, everyone, especially Iris herself, is fully absorbed in the task of reclaiming the bright sky from the dark of the storm. So it's like there may have been a dark storm, and now she is occupied with claiming the bright sky, so a new bright beginning of something. Maybe that's what you've been doing, right? Wanting the new bright beginning, a jump from the dark storm into the spotlight, into the brightness, into abundance perhaps here, and wanting to have this quick move perhaps, and having the hope and maybe the feeling of promise, right? Maybe you were promised something by the emperor, that you should take over the throne or something, right? Maybe you are one of the helpers down here, and you're waiting for your time, you're waiting for the time to be worthy enough, old enough, capable enough, somehow, to have the fame, to become the one in the spotlight here. Somehow I just get the feeling that someone here wants the setup to change now, and I just get the feeling it's not quite there yet. That's why I have this feeling of divine timing, that it's simply not there yet. Iris tells us that light is breaking through our present darkness, and that hope is a powerful factor in spreading up this process. She does not promise us that the storm is over, nor does she say that it will never storm again. But she does say that there is brightness and beauty here. She also tells us that there is something to be gained by the passage through the storm. And the sooner we learn what that is, the sooner the storm will end. Always a passage through the storm is a time of potential growth, a time to allow the dead wood of our past to be blown away, to make room for the green shots of new growth. And that could be what this talks about, the green shots of new growth. At this point, it is useful to ask ourselves what we still need to release, and to look after protecting and nurturing the seeds we have planted. So here we have the seeds, right, and still wanting maybe to plant new ones, but for new growth, like a child that is a new thing, a new little being that wants to grow, right? So there's this, I get this feeling of like what I want forward moving in my forward moving life. I want it to be beautiful, right? I want it to be bright sky. I want it to be green and fertile and um, but also like beautiful, like a little child here. I want it to be beautiful and magnificent and pure, perhaps. Like the intention in this is like that. At this point, it is useful to ask ourselves what we still need to release and to look after protecting and nurturing the seeds we have planted. Iris suggests that the cultivation of patience may also be helpful at this time. The storm is breaking up. Are we ready for a change? If we are presently frogs, the fairies say, the time of our transformation, foretold by the rainbow, may be at hand. Then we shall be kissed by the puissant light of the sun and discover if we are still frogs or if we have become something much more. So it seems like I took this card as like the elephant in the room. I get the feeling this is what you're looking for. You're looking for the breakthrough, that the storm is breaking up, that the storm is over and the bright sky is starting to look through the clouds and give you some kind of new opportunities. But it's the elephant in the room if it hasn't happened yet. If you haven't transformed from this to this, right? If you haven't had your jump yet somehow, or ascension, or you haven't had your letting go of something, perhaps here. But I get the feeling it is upright, so it wants to tell you that it's coming. I still just have the feeling that it's not quite there yet. It's, yeah, that's what I feel like. You're still learning something about like lighting your own wand here. You're still learning about the elements, maybe. You're still learning to you're still figuring something out, I think. At the bottom of the deck for Iris, yeah, I get the Laum. So the Laum, she sits here. But what I always feel like with her is when I look at her wings, they seem broken, right? Like they seem torn, and she sits like she is just dreaming something, like hoping or dreaming something. But the wings are torn a bit. It's like a fairy who cannot fly, right? Or like a knight of wands who cannot lit the fire on his wand. You get what I mean? It's like a bird that can't fly. Something that hasn't taken off yet. It hasn't come to fruition yet. It's still in the making. That's what I feel like. You're still, I get the feeling, recovering from something here and figuring something out. So becoming the, like, it's like the Laum here that wants to become the Iris, right? But it's like a dream. It's like sitting here and dreaming about being this one, but not being able to get there yet because the wings are broken, right? Maybe you need to heal, like have a self-healing element to do this, to become and have like big strong wings as Iris does here, right? It's something like you're not there yet. But I want to say with the new moon in Leo, like your manifestation abilities, it's like a new circle is starting, right? And these energies work for 6 months or so. So if you put out new intentions now, Make a little ritual with a candle, and you call in for your guides and angels. You may call in some of the archangels to help you release what is prohibiting you from moving forward. And that could be Archangel Michael. You can ask for maybe Archangel Raphael to come in and help you um, um, like heal. He's the great healer. So heal wounds that you, something like the wings here, right? The broken wings, yeah, or torn wings. What is it that is prohibiting you from lighting the fire on the wand somehow? Is it because you don't trust yourself enough yet? Is it because you don't have the confidence? Maybe you're still building on this, and it's gathering momentum somehow, but I just get the feeling you would like it to be now, like wanting to do that. Maybe that's what your manifestation could be about, that you're writing in your new moon manifestations that you are your own emperor, right? That you have succeeded, right? That you have success, that you have integrity, that you sit in sovereignty, that you have this like whole feeling of authenticity within, or whatever this is for you. But that's what I feel like this is about. Okay, then I talked about a hoovering feeling of something here. So what is that, please? What kind of cards do I want to take for that? It's almost like something is watching you, right? Watching you from above. And there could be this divine timing that, again, you weave what you are able to weave. I feel like you weave what you are able to weave at this point in time. So if you weave with broken wings here, that's the reason, right? It's because you are not fully healed, or you haven't figured something out yet. So wanting a quick fix, perhaps, or wanting a quick leap into like fame or something here, or like a big responsibility is yeah, maybe we all at some point want that somehow, but I just get the feeling it's not coming just overnight like that. To whom I'm speaking to here, I feel like you're still building. You're building a momentum here. And it has to do with, I really feel that it has to do with your own sense of being in charge of your own life. So being in charge of you and your choices, and feeling good about it, feeling relaxed, and like you're not second guessing it, you're not debating it with anyone, you just feel satisfied with your choices, right? It's like nobody can make you second guess. Nobody can mess with your thoughts or with your mind or with your... It's like you become what I call bully proof, right? You are not, you're not no longer reacting if someone is criticizing you or something. It's like you are proof, you're bully proof. And you're also not allowing to be third or fourth or fifth, right? Okay, let's have a look at what I feel like was hoovering here. fire ant. Well, fire ant talks about aggression. It can be an aggressive energy. Today, because it is the fire energy here, and when we look at it, it's like we see a lot of ants, and they are all kind of trying to come to, so they are all meeting up here at this point here. I see this like the honey that draws them in, like that lures them in somehow. So it's like maybe you want to be the honey, right? The honey that gets all this attention, all these people that come towards you, and so you become this interesting thing, this interesting new news object somehow that draws the attention of a lot of people. But it can be aggressive somehow. That's also what I feel here. It's like they're reaching for you, right? They want to snatch you or something, but you want to jump over. You want to jump over the. I see them as sirens, so not really people, like the needy. You want to jump over and away from the needy people, like those that just like you because they want something from you. Um, you want you don't want the aggression from people, I think. But there could also be this growing feeling of aggression or anger. Why is nothing happening? Why am I not like getting my. Why is nobody seeing me, right? Why is nobody recognizing my potential? Why is nobody seeing that I should sit on the throne, right? Why is nothing happening? Why can't I get my wand to light up? Why can't I see um, why can't I have like a piece of that success pie, right? Why can't I be the eye of attention? When is it coming, right? When is it coming? This, and somehow it's hoovering here. Somehow I feel like that's actually more, perhaps, the elephant in the room. Again, as I said, it's something you can't see it. It's in the room, right? It's in the room, but it's maybe not spoken. Maybe it's not verbalized. Maybe it's, again, the feeling of someone, I'm going to take over after my father, or I'm going to take over this company. When is this promotion coming, and becoming more and more aggressive about it? I feel like maybe you realize there are more who wants this position. There are more who wants to sit on the throne. Maybe I have competition here. Many wants to come in here and be this, like the center of attention. Many want that. So somehow I have to become good enough here. I have to figure out how to light this wand, otherwise someone else is going to snatch the opportunity for me. So there could be a sense of pressure, a feeling of pressure, a feeling of needing to perform or do something specific, achieve some kind of goal, otherwise I can't have this Again, we have competition here, the feeling of competition. Like competing with others for something. Getting there first. If I come last here, there's no honey left, right? It's like, but I also want to say, this is a belief system that tells us that there's only such an amount of abundance, meaning that there's not enough for all of us. So at some point, I want to say this also represents a sense of lack, a lack mentality, that abundance is only for certain people who work a lot, or who invest a lot, who has educated themselves enough, who is worthy somehow. And if there's only honey for a certain amount of ants, you could say, what about the rest? Well, the rest, they will be the needy ones, right? They will be down here. And somehow I get the feeling whoever I'm talking to, they don't want to be part of that. They want to taste the honey here. They want to be up here, right? So there's definitely someone who thinks of themselves somehow more entitled to richness or to abundance, more worthy, feeling more entitled. I don't want to stay behind and live off just the scrapes or leftovers from the rich, right? I want to have a piece of that pie here. And feeling maybe more and more of some kind of pressure, anger, why nothing is happening, why something is not changing, why you don't get the opportunities that you want. Maybe you feel like the world is not recognizing your potential. Maybe if this is a father figure, they are not seeing your potential. They have never recognized it somehow. If we believe that abundance is for everyone, that abundance simply is about the right vibrational match, there should be no competition, right? It's not necessary. The competition can only be with yourself then, to get to the right vibration. You get to the vibration of trust, surrender, like a total belief in abundance, safety, trust, security, that everything is taken care of and you can just relax and enjoy life. Here I feel like that's not the fact. It's like there's only so much honey here. So you have to be fast, right? You have to go to the honey quickly here. There could be a sense of aggression, anger, like needing to move quickly. This Knight of Wands can be like a quick moving, like and again navigating, like navigating through around all these, because I have this is my goal. So I'm like navigating around I said something about navigating around something big. Maybe that's the competition, that you feel like there's a lot of competition, and somehow I want to navigate around it so that I can have my breakthrough here somehow. There are too many people here, or it takes too much time to get there. This could indicate something like years, right? That out here you have just started your education, and this is like an inner circle, right? The feeling of leveling up in hierarchy or becoming more and more worthy of the sweetness of the abundance. Like you start out here and you are the knight, right? And then you educate yourself and you get experience and so on, and then you level up to the next cycle, and then you level up again to the next cycle. Now you're close, right? And then you level up again, and now you can. But there could be this sense that this takes too much time. I don't have that. I don't want to live 30 years of my life where I can't have abundance. I want to make the quick jump here, so that I leave this behind. I don't want to be here. I want the big leap. And I can have that if I challenge my father, perhaps, or if I challenge the boss, or I get to the inner circle quickly. Maybe the inner circle of management here, maybe in a company or something, that I have to make myself so useful and so interesting and so talented very quickly here, so that I get to the inner circle somehow. To the inner circle of the breakthrough, right? So I'm not in the storm anymore. I'm not in the neediness and in the storm and in the lack mentality. I want to be in the abundant, the breakthrough, right? The bright sky. I want to be there somehow. But it's hovering up here, so I get the feeling it's something. Maybe you haven't said it because, again, you may fear the judgment of people here. If I tell them that I feel like I'm worthy of being here, what about all those who have been working out here for years, try to reach the top? If I say that, they will judge me maybe, or they will think badly of me. And that could be also like the elephant in the room here, that you somehow, that you want to go somewhere, right? You have goals, you want to go somewhere, but it's not, seemingly, it seems like you are not rewarded maybe. Maybe you feel like you are not rightfully rewarded for your effort. Again, the Knight of Wands, this can be a quick moving, right? Like quick navigating through situations to get to an end goal quickly, perhaps, yeah. Like looking for satisfaction, easy satisfaction, and moving towards that as easy as possible. But I just get the feeling it's seeking like a quick fix, maybe. Not like wanting to take a high jump over something, away from something here. And feeling angry perhaps that this is not happening, that it's not coming, or nobody is seeing my potential. Why am I not rewarded? But I just get the feeling that someone could be like watching you and thinking, yeah, they have the potential, but they have to mature. They are not ready. All this stuff, right? At the bottom of the deck, I get the snake. So the snake here for me talks about we see the snake biting his tail here, and within the center of the snake here, we see like, I see this almost like a firework going off, and that could be what the aggression talks about, that this is what you feel inside, but you're holding it, right? You try to keep it in, not show it. This is what you feel within. This is the fire within you. This is what you communicate. Like, this is air energy. So maybe you communicate something quite good here. With the throat chakra and the white rose, maybe you of loyalty and I don't know, good pure intentions here. You may communicate that, but within there's this firework, right? That is trying to that is constantly it wants to expand, but you're maybe not saying it, right? You may not, maybe you haven't verbalized it, maybe you haven't said how irritating or frustrating something is for you here. You're trying to keep it in because you know maybe that if I say this, people may judge me, right? They may judge me for feeling entitled, where they have been working for years and haven't reached that level yet, right? So I'm not in line. I should stay in line somehow. But I still get the feeling that again, you have to ask yourself, is this setup right for you? If you are competing against an emperor here, is that setup right for you? Or do you need a totally new setup? Do you need a new setting? Do you need new circumstances, new players, new if this is a business situation, I get that a lot actually, a business, maybe you need a new workplace, right? A workplace where it is possible for you to rise quickly, perhaps here. If this is an internal process that talks about your confidence, maybe, your trust in yourself, I get the feeling that this represents that. If that's the case, I want to say this represents an end goal of feeling like you do trust in yourself, that you do feel worthy, that you do know you have what it takes to sit here, that you feel this is my throne now. I feel so whole with myself here. And somehow I just get the feeling that you're not there yet. Maybe a part of you wishes that you were. Maybe this is a child and adult situation. And the adult here is saying, yeah, I understand you want to have a quick fix, but the quick fix is not going to help you. It's what you learn on the way, right? What you learn on the way to develop into a mature person. That's what is building your character. That's what is building you as a person. You learn from every step of it. Having a quick jump towards fame or something that's one way of doing it, but truly earning it here and having the respect of others, actually being selected or chosen to have this this job may feel more satisfactory, right? It may feel more earned, more. It's not that I have fought for it. It's like I'm given it. It's given to me, right? Because of the person I have developed into, because of the person I am. Not because I have fought my way like towards it. I'm chosen for this job. I'm selected for this job, right? Or I'm selected as a person, not because I have like fought for it, not because I have by all means trampled upon others to get here, right? No, the road towards this came through maybe the dark storm, but working my way through that allowed me to build or evolve as a person, to grow as a person, and therefore I'm selected, I'm chosen, I'm given this opportunity because I have done the work, you could say here. I've worked my way through something, whatever that is for you. So, if you are impatient somehow and you have been working through something, maybe a situation like this is coming up or is here at this point in time, about when this new moon is occurring, or at least I want to say maybe put in some manifestations at this time. Leo energy is about confidence, believe in yourself, trust in yourself, like knowing that you can accomplish something, that you have what it takes to accomplish something. So it's a very good time to do that if you feel like you're not there yet. I feel like when I read about Iris, it said something like that as well, that the journey is important, right? The journey, that when you look back on the storm, maybe you can actually appreciate what you learned there, and you also realize that it helped you mature, it helped you understand something, it helped you see something in a different way. It made you maybe more worthy of becoming a ruler or a leader, because you understand so many more, so much more, so many other perspectives of life, perhaps. You know that now, right? Where if you were a quick jumper here, like aggressive and forceful, maybe, there are things you don't know about other people or about other circumstances and even about yourself. A jumper here, the Five of Wands in reverse. So the Five of Wands for me talks about childhood trauma, childhood issues, childhood woundings. In reverse, I want to say there could be something about the dark storm that Iris is talking about here. Can be what this is. Like the dark storm was something you had to go through in order to actually realize your woundings. Maybe something you have kept within here, right? Maybe you kept anger within, right? And never really talked about it. And used a lot of energy on keeping it in here. But if you release the anger, perhaps, you will realize that you have a potential of fireworks of creativity in here that can be used for good, right? But you couldn't get to this point unless you matured, unless you walked through the dark storm, unless you faced the wounds, maybe, or faced your anger, your aggression, maybe. Or even, as I said, maybe you faced your lack mentality here. You faced your position of, or you faced maybe an understanding, maybe a family dynamic that talks about like cycles or levels, right? That only the ones who has reached a certain level of understanding can taste the sweet honey. everyone else out here, second, third, fourth range here, or level, they cannot. That could also be what this is, right? So maybe you had to go through like the dark storm to realize this. And it has matured you. It has helped you somehow to see something in a different way. So, okay, I'm looking for an advice card here at this point in time for this reading for the new moon in Leo. And everyone who may feel like this somehow resonates, or it could be a person you're dealing with, right? Just change the characters around if that makes more sense to you. Page of Swords in reverse. So this is an advice card. I feel like it's important not to you have to be tactful somehow about whatever you're dealing with here. The Page of Swords, I feel like it's important not to come across as a childish, angry child, perhaps. Be tactful of what you share at this time, especially about maybe an inner child experience somehow. Be tactful about what you choose to share. Maybe it's not the time to I wouldn't say you should lie, but you should weigh your words somehow in a situation here. Or at least you should maybe also figure out your thought patterns. Is it your inner child speaking about aggression maybe, or something you have held back here? Or is it here I get something again about like dishonesty. Are you honest with yourself? Figure out, this is the advice card, right? So figure out where you are not honest with yourself. Even small white lies, right? Maybe also figure out why your inner child is not speaking or didn't dare to speak. The Page of Swords is like a child, right? Why something has been kept within here. Maybe also like if you are fearing some kind of judgment, maybe figuring out why do you fear what other people say about you. If you want to be a quick riser here and you do whatever you can to get there, but you're still fearing the judgment, why are you fearing it? Why is that important somehow? I also get like not necessarily overshare anything, not like keep it. Somehow I get it's an advice card, right? And I said something about communication and the white rose, like seeking compromise or seeking a forgiveness or seeking some kind of resolution or maybe a quick fix or something. But this card actually tells me no, right? It tells me don't expect um, don't expect communication just to be that easy, or don't be childish, I feel or like don't hold a childish grudge somehow. Or if you do, don't talk about it. Keep it to yourself until you have actually managed some of this, I think. It is the advice card here. It could even be that if we talk about an inner child here, or a child, could be a child, you have your child, an air sign, maybe Gemini, Libra, Aquarius here. A child, maybe you're not speaking with a child. Maybe you are the child and you are not speaking the truth here, right? It could be something like the advice could also be consider the child that is not speaking. Consider the child who is silent. What's going on with that one, right? Be mindful about children that are not speaking, or if this is an inner child of yours, I want to say it has been silent for a long time, and or it has kept, something has been kept within. I just don't feel like that it will be of any kind of benefit to share like woundings or trouble that your younger self has experienced. I don't think it's the proper time, at least with an emperor here. I don't think so. At the bottom of the deck, the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, I just get the feeling that the time is not right, or it's to come up with some childish, like egotistical, childish. I need this. I am the right one for this job. You have to pick me, or it's not giving you the new abundant. Like it's not giving you the new abundant move forward, I feel like. Now I suddenly have something like, because when I looked at this, I realized that this person has longer hair. And it's almost a feeling like this could be a girl that is wanting to become a soldier or a knight, right? Like a girl that is fighting with swords. And somehow I get the feeling that I'm not sure if there's something about gender roles here that someone cannot take over the business because they are a woman, for instance. Um, that only boys can, or something like that. I get the feeling that maybe you shouldn't say that. I don't think it's going to help you. It's not bringing forth the stability, the safety, the new, beautiful, abundant, like beginning that you may be looking for. It's not bringing that. If this has been a childhood dream of yours, let's say as a girl, wanting to become a fighter, right? Wanting to become a marine, or you want to be a soldier or a policeman or something. More maybe seen as men occupation, like a man occupation. Um, I just feel like it you will not have, if you bring that up somehow with an emperor here, I don't think it will not benefit you somehow. That's what I feel like. But again, also this idea that the fighting girl here with the sword, again, there's something about it's not the right approach, I think. Especially as a woman or as a feminine, it's not supposed to be a fight, right? Um, Maybe you can ask yourself, is it worth the fight? Like, because I don't think fighting is getting you anywhere, especially if you are doing it from a, like, again, remember, this is just a page, a newbie, a young energy standing in front of an emperor here. It's like it's a lose situation somehow. So somehow I just get the feeling it's, yeah, there is something about tactic around something here. Weigh your words, consider something, learn from a process. You want to maybe to make a high jump here into a successful career, maybe taking over some kind of business from the emperor here, but I just, divine intelligence, divine timing, you weave what you are, not what you want to become, maybe. If you're not the emperor yet, you're not weaving emperor existence. You're weaving knight existence here, a warrior. Oh, you can't see anything here. Well, maybe that's the good thing here, that I have come to the end of the reading. I think you get my point of what I'm trying to say here. I still sit with this feeling that there's something that I haven't said, or something I haven't figured out, but maybe that's the entire point. That this knight here hasn't figured, you can't see anything, that this knight hasn't figured it out yet, right? He hasn't figured it out yet. And that's exactly it. That leader material, that becoming a leader material, becoming a potential chosen leader, comes with life experience, it comes with wisdom. that you cannot just fight your way towards it necessarily. That could also be it here, that the new moon in Leo is maybe asking you to like you could say put the childish sword down, right? Something like that. And as with sword, I mean, well, yeah, it could be the sense of fighting, but it could also be a sense of communication. Put the childish thoughts away, put the childish way of communicating away. Don't believe that it's getting you anywhere. Don't believe that necessarily because you're the sun, you're the natural heir of something, of a big company perhaps. Maybe if you're not ready, your father or the one in charge is choosing something else. And look at how dark it is here now. And somehow I get the feeling it's part of the message as well. It's like maybe you feel like everything is in the dark, that you are kept in the dark about something, right? That could also be what this is about, right? That feeling like you're kept in the dark about something. Maybe that's why you want a new setup. You want honesty, perhaps. You want everything out in the open. Maybe you want a full confrontation here, in the bright light, right? Maybe you want a full confrontation. Maybe you would rather want that than that everything is kept in the dark somehow for you, like secrets or. But I just get the feeling, because it is so muddy here, it's difficult to see the future, perhaps. And therefore we have to trust in the divine timing. We have to trust that we are on the right way. You can try to fight your way towards it. But mostly I want to say learn from the dark storm and figure out what kind of life you may want, like from now on. Yeah, that's what I feel like. And again, you are the weaver here. You are the weaver. You can weave whatever you want. But just be mindful of how you do it. What feelings, what kind of vibration is in here. And I'm not saying this too because I'm a saint or something. I have terrible feelings as well. I believe my vibration goes up and down. It's part of being human. It's part of the healing path and all this stuff. But it's just to say that I believe it's the right direction. I believe that's the way I want to go. But it's not just coming overnight. Like the big change, the big leap here into like total prosperity is not coming just overnight. That's maybe just what I feel like. Okay, so this is what I have for you with this new moon reading. I hope this helped you somehow. I wish you the very best out there. Take care of you in these very fiery energies at this moment in time. Be mindful about the upcoming conjunction with Uranus, North Node, and Mars, also very fiery, around the 1st of August. And really just breathe and try to keep your energy up, as abundant and prosperous as possible during this time. And I wish you the very best out there. Take very good care of yourself. Love and light to you. Bye bye.